Hello everyone, I am Scruffy Matt. This is Scruffy's Retro Corner, looking back at the old games of ye olden days and stuff. How you doing? It's been a while, huh? Hello Dom, hello chat. Thank you both for the warm welcome. It's good to see you again both. Yeah, I've been off sick for a couple of weeks. Our entire household came down with the creeping crud. And I'm mostly over it now, but I am still coughing a bit from time to time, so depending on how things go, I may have to cut the stream short a little earlier than usual, or, stop doing the character voices. But we'll see how we go. So yeah, let's just get straight back into it, shall we? So, it is day 2 of the trial of Maya Fey for, who is standing accused of murdering a dude, stabbing him, and then shooting him in the head. But we have determined that, no, she left the locked room, and someone else was actually in there wearing her clothes. Don't remember a whole lot because it's been a few weeks. But let's see how this goes. Nick? Yeah? Did you know that Von Karma's daughter is only 18? Just like me? Yeah. Why? I was just thinking about how strong she is. I mean, she's been in Germany all this time, all by herself. And she's so grown up. Yeah, and I'm sure she felt a lot of pressure from her father's reputation. And then you look at me and, well, I'm the daughter of the master, but I'm still just a little girl. And on top of that, I'm the suspect in a murder trial. But I think you're really strong too, Maya, for all that you've gone through. Good morning! The two of you look like you're doing well today. I'm happy for you. Hey, morning, Pearly. Well, everyone is ridiculously young for their job in this universe. Yeah, that's true. Certainly, Phoenix and Miles were very young to get started. Wasn't Miles the youngest to start the position of prosecutor? Or something like that? I don't remember. You'll be safe today, Mystic Maya. Huh? What do you mean? My mother is coming today to show her support. Considering we think she's actually the murderer, that's maybe not such a great thing. Yeah, that's right, Pearly. Hey, Pearls. Yes, Mr. Nick? Do you think you could do me a big favor? Could you channel Mia today, too? Huh? I was sort of hoping to sit in the audience today and watch. Please, it's very important to me. I don't feel confident enough without her help. Mr. Nick, that's enough. You can't show weakness in front of the person you love. Pearly, not this again. Please, can you do this for us, Pearls? Uh-oh. Here comes a cat. Maki? You're standing in front of my monitor. Come here, you. Come on, Trouble. Are you looking at birds out the window? You silly kitty. The Edgeworth games go more into his past. Flashbacks, not prequels, they're after the third game canonically, but in terms of story, it doesn't really matter. Shake started the final episode last night, so no spoilers, but shit is going down. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I think I'd probably like to try the Miles games at some point in the future. But let's get through this first trilogy to start with. Alright, I'll do it. I'll do it for Mystic Maya's sake. See you later then. I'll leave you two to your alone time. Oh boy. Whew, thank goodness. Nick? This way Pearls won't be able to see today's trial. What do you mean? What's going on? Right, yeah. I see Franziska is ready. Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Let's start already. Mr. Phoenix Wright, I look forward to tonight's news with great joy. The image of your defeated face will be transmitted all over the world. All over the world, huh? Sounds like you made quite a name for yourself, Phoenix. Don't be foolish, you foolish fool, wearing the foolishly foolish clothes. I think it's a pretty nice suit, actually, but the famous one is me. I'm the prodigy who has never lost a case since becoming a prosecutor 5 years ago. I mean, same thing happened to your dad and Miles before they came across Phoenix. Naturally, the world's eyes are on me as I conduct my first trial in this country. Aha, that's nice, Miss Von Karma. Glad to see you're in such good spirits today, Miss Fey. It's true what they say. Women really are scary when they fight. Now then, a very interesting theory was presented during yesterday's session. That the defendant could have left the channeling chamber, correct? Yes. And this key is proof of that. This key, the only key to the channeling chamber, was not where it should have been. Your Honor, I would like to say one thing before we begin. Alright, let's hear it. The prosecution has determined that from the time of the murder to the time of arrest, the defendant did indeed leave the room at one point. What? But, Ms. Von Karma, then how do you explain this picture? Are you saying then that the person in this picture is not the defendant? I never said that wasn't the defendant. Then what is the meaning of this? All I am saying is that Maya Fey, after killing the victim, exited the room. And I believe that is when she dropped this key. Can you substantiate your claim? Isn't that what I'm here for? The prosecution would like to call the defendant's aunt, Morgan Fey, to the stand. Just as I suspected. Aunt Morgan. Poor Mia, she seems really torn by this. Alright. Before we really get into anything here, I think I want to familiarize myself with the case, so let's have a look at everything in the court record. Starting with the attorney's badge. It's my all-important badge. It shows that I'm a defense attorney. Newspaper clipping number 1. 1 year ago, on May 2nd, 14 patients died from malpractice at Grey Surgical Clinic. May's Megatama. Slightly translucent, it radiates softly with a mysterious light. This is the artifact that we use to tell when people are trying to hide a secret from us. Guy map of Fey Manor. So we got the meditation room, the channeling chamber, winding way, and the side room. Newspaper clipping 2. Articles about the car accident. Highway of Nightmares. May 14th. Late last night, two women's car... A car with two women in it crashed into a highway center divide. One of the women was not able to escape the flaming wreckage and died at the site. Ongoing investigation has revealed that the driver had fallen asleep at the wheel. Miss Eenie Miney holds interview about crash. I was, totally tired and I dropped off to sleep. Then there was this crash and, I woke up in a huge sea of flames. I was, still half asleep, but I opened the right door and, got out. I don't, remember anything else. Doctor lurking in the shadows. If Ms. Eenie Miney is to believe, the one driving the car was her sister, Mimi Miney. Mimi Miney was the nurse at Grey Surgical Clinic where 14 patients were accidentally overdosed to their death. Is this then just a mere coincidence? Folding screen. About 8 inches off the ground is a small hole that looks like a bullet hole. Black key, an old steel key. A green jewel is set in the center of the key's grip. This is the key to the channeling chamber. It is one of a kind. And it was pretty central to our defense the last session. Floor plan to the crime scene. A diagram of the channeling chamber. Dr. Gray's autopsy report. He was stabbed in the chest and then shot at point blank. Gunpowder residue around the bullet hole. The pistol, the murder weapon. It was Dr. Gray's. 2 shots were fired. It bears Myers and Gray's fingerprints. Knife. It was also, well... Can we call it the murder weapon when he actually died to the pistol? I don't know. A small fruit knife belongs to the phase and it bears Myers' fingerprints. Myers' costume, the clothes Meyer was wearing at the time of the murder, with blood on the front and a bullet hole in the sleeve. What is photo number 1? A picture taken at the murder scene. Okay, so this was taken just after we heard the gunshots and broke down the door. And the second photo. So this shows us that whoever was wearing that costume was channeling a spirit. Supposedly that of Mimi Miney. Sacred urn, broken by Pearl right before the murder, under repair in the hallway until the police came. It should read Amy, not I am. This is not Shadow the Hedgehog's urn. A cloth scrap. Unburned remains found inside the garden incinerator. Small amount of blood is on it still. Pearl's ball. Pearl's favourite toy. She was playing with this at the time of the murder, it seems. Steel Samurai. That was a fun case. Clothing box. There is a hole that looks like a bullet hole about 8 inches off the ground. And a license photo. Enie's photo for her driver's license. Director Hottie's treasured possession. That guy was so creepy. Alright, we better have a look at who's involved here. Dr. Turner Gray, age 35, the murder victim. Gray Surgical Clinic director. Had a malpractice incident and he was murdered during the channeling. Maya Fay, age 18, the defendant and my client. Was arrested on suspicion of murder while channeling. Mia Fay, deceased. Maya's older sister. She was a top-notch lawyer and my mentor and friend forever. Dick Gumshoe, age 31, detective at the local precinct, in charge of the initial investigation. Pearl Fay, age 8, Maya's cousin, a channeling prodigy with immense spiritual power. Morgan Fay, age unknown, Maya's aunt, a member of the Fay clan branch family. She is the mother of Pearl, and we suspect that she is the actual murderer. Pearl is apparently a prodigy when it comes to spiritual channeling, but she will not be able to claim the right of master because her cousin Maya has that. So my theory is that Morgan is trying to get Maya out of the way so that Pearl can claim the title and all the privileges and ranks and stuff that come with it. Amy Miney, age 21, college student researching parapsychology. Her older sister Mimi died in a car accident. Yep, that's the face of the person in that second photo, isn't it? Deceased, Mimi Miney. She died in a car accident 1 year ago. Was Amy's older sister and a nurse at Dr. Gray's clinic. Lotta Hart, age 23, claims to be an investigative photographer. She lives for the next big scoop. Franziska von Karma, age 18, became a prosecutor in Germany at age 13, prodigy who has never known defeat. Amy Faye, or is it Amy Faye? Let's go with Amy, it's easier to pronounce. The Korean channeling technique founder. Legend says her soul is sealed in the sacred urn. And Director Hottie. Purported. A peculiar patient who claims to be Director Hottie. Seems to be extremely healthy. Alright. Alright, I think we familiarized ourselves with the case again, so let's just get into this. Witness, name and occupation. My name is Morgan Fay, and I am a spirit medium, in a manner of speaking. I'm sorry, but what do you mean, in a manner of speaking? Ah! I don't think anyone really cares. Now then, after the murder took place, you kept watch over the defendant, correct? Yes, that is correct. I performed the spirit severing technique on Mystic Maya then. Spirit severing technique? A technique to remove a spirit from a body and send it back to the other world. That is. Yes, that is. You, be quiet. Now, witness. Something happened while you were performing this technique, correct? Yes, that is correct. What in the world could have... Mystic Maya, she escaped from the room. What? And here we come to the heart of the matter. Maya Fey, while in a possessed state, managed to escape from the channeling chamber. Order! 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 Ms. Fey, please testify to this court. What happened during that time? Your Honor, I will try my best. I think someone just upped the ante on this trial. Maya's escape. After we heard the gunshots, those two broke the door open and entered the chamber. I requested that Mr. Wright and the other lady please contact the police. A pistol was hanging from Mystic Maya's hand, and she was in the daze. Then, quite suddenly, she thrusted me away from herself and escaped from the room. With great strength, she hit the base of my neck, and I fainted for a short while. I'm afraid I have no knowledge of where she went after that. Okay. Why have you hidden this until now? I did not wish to cause more trouble for Mystic Maya. However, I must correct falsities when they arise. That's right. She's simply correcting a falsity, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Why is she making it a point to take a stab at me? Never mind. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Man is a very smart and sly person. It's going to be hard for us to find a crack in her testimony. Alright, let's have a look-see here. After we heard the gunshots, those two broke the door open and entered the chamber. Just now, you said those two. Who were the two people you were referring to? I was referring to that foreign lady and yourself, good sir. Cause you got her dad sent to prison for murder. Yeah, that would be a good reason for Von Karma to hold a grudge against us. Lotta's not a foreigner, despite how she talks. Oh, is that so? I'm sorry. I simply could not understand her atrocious English, not to mention she looked awful. That's racist. I can already see people in the Heartland gearing up for a riot. In any case, I have already sent the repair bill to your office, Mr. Wright. Hey! Oh, thanks. What did you do after that, Miss Fay? I requested that Mr. Wright and the other lady please contact the police. Was it really necessary to have two people do something so simple as call the police? If there was a possibility of escape, then one of us should have stayed behind. Yes, that is a very good point. At that time, I myself was a little confused. On top of which, there was another. Another what, madam? Oh, it's nothing. No need to concern yourself. I want to hear the end of that sentence. There was another reason you wanted both of us out of that room, wasn't there? You must testify. Why did you chase us out of the room? I simply did not wish for there to be more victims. Yeah, okay, that's actually sensible. You'll learn a lot more about the practices of Karain in the 6th game, the final of the Apollo Justice trilogy, which got a remaster last year. Okay, cool. Huh. The lives of both the good sir and that camera woman may be in danger, is what I thought to myself. Well, that was very noble of you, Ms. Faye. This is bad. Now people have a good impression of her, and a bad one of us. Looks like she caught us napping. That's my aunt for you. Are you satisfied now, Mr. Wright? Ms. Faye, please continue. A pistol was hanging from Mystic Maya's hand, and she was in a daze. During our investigation, you stated that you struck the defendant on the head, and this strike caused Maya to lose consciousness. Do you stand by this statement? I'm afraid I don't. The statement I gave you was a lie. But why would you lie about something like that? It is very painful for me to say this, however. The witness was lying to cover for the defendant. She was covering for Maya? So you were covering for the defendant? Well, yes. It was only later that I was informed of what had occurred. That the renegade Mystic Maya had done something very unexpected. Something unexpected? What, pray tell, did she... Ooh! This witness didn't and couldn't have seen what happened. If you want to know what this unexpected thing was, there is always later. Yes, very well. Does it suddenly feel like there's a rock in the pit of my stomach? Now, witness, continue with what happened. Then, quite suddenly, she thrusted me away from herself and escaped the room. Was it really that easy for her to escape from you? I'm ashamed to admit such a thing, however, yes. But you are physically larger and stronger than the defendant. There is no way she could have escaped from you so easily. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Phoenix Wright? What about this picture? Remember that at the time, the defendant was not physically Maya Fey? Growing old is such a mysterious thing. Trust me, I know firsthand. Basically, Mystic Maya's body was still that of the nurse she had called. Sorry about that. But if she had run away, wouldn't you have given her chase right away? Well, yes, I would have. However... With great strength, she hit the base of my neck, and I fainted for a short while. You fainted? I became dizzy and then collapsed onto the floor. How long were you unconscious? I'm not sure. About 10 minutes, perhaps. And the defendant almost certainly went somewhere in that time. Happy? Witness, elaborate on that point for us. I'm afraid I have no knowledge of where she went after that. Is that because you were unconscious? Why, yes. Seems like if they have proof of at least that, it should be easy to get an insanity offense at minimum, but where's it fun in that? Yeah, I mean, it raises the question of, you know, if, even if it was Maya's body, for lack of a better term, in that room at that time that committed that murder, can you charge her with murder when it was committed by the spirit of a different person? It's all very strange and confusing, isn't it? Great. Well, now what? So, while you were unconscious, you have absolutely no idea where the defendant went. I would think that's obvious, good sir. If that's true, then how can you know for sure that the defendant left the channeling chamber at all? Now that you mention it, I have to wonder myself. It's true that this witness is not able to confirm this. But the key word here is this witness. What do you mean by that? It means she has another witness up her sleeve. That's what. Looks like Ms. Von Karma is ready to move on to her next witness. That's enough. From what I can tell, there is nothing wrong with this witness's testimony. And from what she has said, we can establish that Maya Fey did leave the chamber. I hope this isn't going to come back and bite us in the butt. Now, let's take the next logical step and ask, where did the defendant go after leaving the channeling chamber? Yes. That is exactly what we should be— Eek! Be quiet, you! Now then, what the escapee had done was she had gone to speak with a certain person. She went to speak with someone? You kind of write it off as the system being distrustful of the practice in general after the fiasco at the original trial for Edgeworth's dad's murder. Yeah, that's a good theory, actually. Yeah, Maya's mother did the spirit channeling to try and find out who murdered Gregory Edgeworth, and she got the wrong answer because Gregory thought that his son Miles had done it, and so he covered up the whole thing. So yeah, it would actually be reasonable for there to be a lot of distrust with spirit mediums in general after that happening. That would make sense. Who was it? The prosecution calls Ms. Eenie Miney, who was sleeping in the side room at the time. Eenie Miney? I think you can see where this is headed. Oh no, not her again. Witness, name and occupation. Okay, so my name is, Eenie Miney. I'm, researching, parapsychology stuff at the, university. What is this parapsychology? Let's see. It's, I guess most people call it occult stuff. Even if that's what most people call it, I can't say I understand what that means. Then I suggest you go home and research it yourself. Yes, sir. Now then, Ms. Miney, after the murder took place, you spoke with the defendant, Maya Fey. Is this correct? Well, I guess? If that's the case, then let's hear your testimony. That is alright, isn't it, Your Honor? Yes, sir. Oh, well, if the whole thing's good, Your Honor, have some spine, for my sake. My cats have the zoomies. After the murder. When the channeling started, I was, sleeping in the side room. A little later, someone came into the room, really suddenly. It was, oh my god, totally my sister! I, hadn't seen her in, so long. I was so happy in, a sad way. My sister, she, told me something, totally terrible. Now, hold your horses, young lady. You're saying the person that entered was your sister? don't you mean the defendant, Maya Fey? Really now, Your Honor. Maya Fey was still in the middle of channeling at that time. Are you saying that the spirit was the spirit of this witness's sister? Yes, Mimi Miney. She was a nurse at Dr. Gray's clinic. Oh, well, this is... Witness? Like, yeah? In your testimony, you mentioned a terrible thing. Why don't you tell the court what this terrible thing was? I'm sure we'd love to hear about it. Like, do I totally, really have to? Of course. Ms. Miney, please. My sister, this is what she said to me. That was no accident. I was drugged with sleeping pills. I was murdered by that person. You know what? I am not surprised, actually, about that. That's why I took my revenge. It's only fair, isn't it? Eenie. She took her revenge? Are you sure that's what she said? Yes? There, are you satisfied, Your Honor? I still can't believe it. I can't believe that a spirit would go so far as to use a medium to get revenge. It is a bit hard to swallow. However, all the evidence and testimonies point to this as the truth. The end. What do you think, Mr. Wright? It certainly seems like all the loose ends are accounted for. This testimony just now, was it all made up? Was it just one huge lie? Of course it was, Phoenix. Mia, what do you mean? It's well constructed, but that's all it is. But even the most well-spun lies can be undone. We can do it, Phoenix. Let's find that one loose thread and unwind this tapestry of lies. Your Honor, there is room for doubt, so the defense will cross-examine this witness. We believe that our cross-examination will reveal the real truth behind this murder. Yet again, the foolish fool spouts out more foolishly foolish travel. I wonder if you'll make this one more entertaining than the last. When the channeling started, I was, sleeping in the side room. Was that because of your, sesame allergy, was it? That's right! I, think there was sesame seeds, in the lunch they served that day. I had this, premonition that it was going to be a totally seedy day. Yes, indeed. I see. Am I the only one who missed the boat here? Anyway, so you were taking a nap. Did something happen while you were sleeping? A little later, someone came into the room, really suddenly. Do you know the time? Maybe a little before 11 a.m.? Something like that, I think? 11 a.m. Yeah, my stomach is totally ready for, food. Ah, no, I think you misunderstood me. I'm not asking what time it is now. I meant, what time was it when someone came into your room? Oh, so, that's what you meant. You should have been more, clear about it? Sorry, my bad. His mistake was assuming that the witness has a brain. No, it's okay. It's really... Huh? That's it? Why'd you stop mid-sentence? Did I? So, what was I talking about again? Never mind. Witness about this person who entered the site. It was like, oh my god, totally my sister? Are you absolutely sure? I guess? You guess. Was it or was it not your sister who entered? I don't know. I mean, like, I totally don't know your sister at all, Mr. Smith. First off, my name is not Mr. Smith. Second, I'm an only child. But more than that, she's managed to mess up the question with her answer. Well, Mr. Wright, the defense rests? Well, that was a colossal waste of our time. Now then, witness, how did you feel when you saw Miss Mimi Miney? I, hadn't seen her in, so long. I was so happy in, a sad way. You were happy in a sad way? Yeah, I mean, it was my sister. But wouldn't most people react to you with surprise at seeing a dead loved one alive again? Well, she is a parapsychology student. But, maybe if I was, someone who didn't know about, the occult? But I know all about the Korean channeling technique. The point here is the witness immediately recognized that it was her sister. Yeah, what she said. Should I drop this line of questioning? So you really didn't think anything strange of the whole encounter? No. There wasn't any reason for me to, think anything was strange. But, ow! Don't keep badgering her. You know the phrase objection? Could you try using that once in a while? Mr. Wright, this question of what the witness felt when she saw her sister, is it really that important? I don't think it is, to be honest. Is it really that important? Well, let me ask you, is it really that important for you to ask? Uh-oh, did I choose the wrong answer? Of course it's very important. Well, I don't think that it's important at all. Yow! Stop spewing such nonsensical things then. Pay no attention to the twit and continue, witness. Well, at least I didn't get penalized for that. Okay. My sister, she, told me something, totally terrible. Something terrible. What was this thing she told you? Huh? Didn't I just, tell you about it? Did you, forget already? A foolish fool with a foolish Steve for a brain only speaks foolishly with foolish words. Well, excuse me, princess. Anyway, should I ask her to hear the story again? This makes you think of a new mechanic that's introduced in Game 5. Would definitely have been fun here, probably would have made it too easy to find out what happened. That's very teasy. Tell me more, tell me more. Let's hear it again. I'm sorry, but could I hear the story one more time? Sure, no problem. I'll even, tell it all spooky-like for you. That was no accident. I was drugged with sleeping pills. I was murdered by that person. That's why I took my revenge. It's only fair, isn't it? Eenie. How was that? It was a little scary. I'm sorry. Maybe I, put too much spookiness into it. I know there has to be something here I can use, but where? She really put a lot of thought into this line, didn't she? We can't rush this. Let's take it slowly, one step at a time. She's bound to slip up somewhere. Don't give up. But don't get careless, okay? Remember, calm and collected. Alright. Alright, I'm going to try here. Try and get it. See if I can push further and see what happens. Question further. It is very important. It is very important. Oh, though I haven't quite figured out what it is yet. But I've got to bluff for now and make it seem like I know what I'm talking about. Alright, Mr. Wright. Ms. Miney, please amend your testimony. Okay. I'm totally cool with that. I wasn't scared at all. And her costume looked totally normal. You mean covered in blood? Sounds normal to me. So there was nothing odd at all about your sister's appearance? Yeah, nothing was weird. Mia's talking to herself like she's found something wrong. That's impossible. Is everything okay? Can I, go on? Alright. So, this is time for us to make an objection, yes? That was a very well spun line, Ms. Eni. Huh? Well, what are you babbling about this time, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It's well constructed, but that's all it is. Stealing my lines now, are we, Phoenix? Ms. Miney, may I remind you of what you said? You said that there was nothing strange about your sister's appearance. Yeah, and... But I don't think that's what you were thinking at all. Take a look at this picture. This is a picture of the sister you met. I would think that even you would be surprised if someone appeared before you looked like this. The blood spray! Ms. Miney, why did you not include the blood you saw in your testimony? If you were really testifying and not lying, you would have been noted right off the bat. Order! Order! Ms. Miney, what is the meaning of this? Ms. Miney? I'm thinking, don't interrupt me. Doctor. Eep! And what are you stammering about, Your Honor? That witness, her personality did a complete 180 there. Lots of people do that when they get on the stand, though. First of all, calm yourself, witness. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to snap. Now, hurry up with the testimony. If you please. The judge still looks a little shaken up. A lot of help he's going to be. After the murder, part 2. The side room was, kinda dark, you know? So, the costume is, purple, right? The blood totally blended right in. And I, persuaded my sister it wasn't, right to do something like that. And then, I took my sister's channeling tape. Yes, now I see. And you've given us a clear reason for why you didn't notice the blood. You think? Thanks, Gramps. Are you satisfied, Mr. Wright? Alright, I guess not. Very well, you may question the witness. like, the side room was, like, kind of dark, you know? Really? Because I thought it was pretty bright inside that room. Don't push your subjective opinions onto this court. Like, that's right. Excuse me, but how is my statement any more subjective than Ms. Mining's? You are such a hopeless cause. Witness, you may feel free to ignore this trite little man. Like, okay. Can't breathe. Let me out of here. So, like, the costume is, like, purple, right? The blood totally blended right in. You didn't see the blood. Like, yeah? But she must have had the gun with her at that time as well. Are you going to tell me next that you didn't notice the gun either? I, like, totally didn't. All I was looking at was, like, her face. Continue. And I, like, persuaded my sister it wasn't, like, right to do something like that? And what was your sister, Ms. Mimi Miney, like at the time? Well, she was, like, totally flipped out, because she just shot Dr. Gray. But I think, like, she knew. She, like, said she did something really bad. And, like, she said she wanted to go with me to, like, apologize to Ms. Morgan. Did Mimi's spirit really say all that to you? Like, yeah. And then, like, I took my sister to the channeling chamber. Was your sister calm by that time? Like, I guess so. I guess maybe, like, taking her revenge on Dr. Gray, like, made her feel a lot better? I'd like to feel a lot better too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The sooner the better. She says with her whip at the ready. And, like, Ms. Morgan was the only one in the channeling chamber, you know? May I ask you one more thing, Ms. Marnie? Like, sure. Was there anything you found strange, unusual, or just out of place? Something out of place? Huh? Like, when do you mean? When? When you... When you arrived at the crime scene? I'm assuming he's talking about that box with the bullet hole, because that ended up in the side room afterwards, didn't it? I'm talking about when you arrived at the channeling chamber, of course. Like, no, nothing strange. What should I do? Think harder. I know you can remember something. I, like, totally can't. Just give up already, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I wonder if I put too much faith in Amy's ability to do anything with that brain. That's no good. I can't find anything wrong. Phoenix, the judge believes this testimony. If you don't find some sort of hitch in her statement, he'll end the trial. I know. We have to give him another shot. Doesn't matter how many times we listen, we can't give up. Alright, let's try again. Oh. Maybe when she was going to the crime scene, she might have seen Pearly smashing the urn. Or trying to repair it. Because I've got evidence for that, don't I? I'm talking about when you were going to the channeling chamber, of course. Like, no, nothing strange. She answered rather quickly. Now what? Think harder. I know you can remember something. I, like, totally can't. That's not good enough. You have to explain yourself clearly to this court. You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to play this opportunity comes once in a lifetime. Thank you, Eminem. Do you think, Mr. Wright, that whether or not there was something odd on the way to the channeling chamber is all that important? I ask because this is very important. Not that I know where I'm going with this. Very well. Ms. Miney, if you will, please include a statement about this in your testimony. I don't get why, but okay. I didn't see anyone on the way to the channeling chamber. Now we got her. Let me just save to make sure I choose the right thing here. Now, should I present Pearly or the urn? Let's try the urn. I finally found the vault, or I guess in your case, the crack in your perfect lie. Take a look at this urn. Urn? There are cracks. Do you see them? So? What does that prove? Objection! Who cares about some worn-out old urn? Yeah. I already, said I didn't see, anyone on the way to the channeling chamber. I didn't, totally say anything about, an urn, did I? Looks like you still don't understand. I propose that if you really had been walking along the winding way at that time, there was no way you could not have seen this person. I'd like to introduce someone to you. This is Ms. Morgan Fay's daughter, Pearl Fay. Yes? And how is this child relevant? It just so happens that at the time of the murder, Pearl was playing in the center garden. Oh. And she just happened to break this urn. Oh. Oh! Wait, she broke the urn? Yep, she accidentally knocked it over with her ball. Delicious hat. And Pearl was the one who put it back together, while sitting right in the middle of Winding Way. What? Miss Miney. Pearl was there in the Winding Way at the time. She was hard at work, putting the pieces of the urn back together, you see. If you couldn't see that while you were walking, I'd have to declare you legally blind. Grr. I think I've sufficiently proven one thing, Ms. Miney. You are a masterful liar. Mr. Wright, you need to watch what you say. The one who needs to watch what she's saying is the witness. So, Ms. Miney, tell us the truth. About what? About what? About where you really were at the time of the murder, of course. The witness just testified about that. That's right. I was, sleeping in the side room. Can I really believe her? Was she really sleeping in the side room? Your lies end here. What do you... The witness says that during the actual murder, she was asleep in the side room. And I say that's not possible, because there is clearly a contradiction here. A contradiction? Where is this contradiction? The gunshots? Do you think the gunshots would have woken her up? Or the sound of the urn smashing? And there's also this box. So many possibilities. Alright, I'm gonna save. The answer is in the court record. What? Planning to throw out another irrelevant piece of evidence? Very well, the court will see this evidence. Wait, Mia? I don't know what you plan on showing to the court, but I can guarantee you the answer is not there. Just this once, I'll lend you a hand. Now, rethink your answer. Alright. Mr. Wright, what is your answer? Okay, time to add another buff to the file. The witness says that during the murder she was asleep in the side room. I say that's not possible, because it's clearly a contradiction. Okay. So it's not in the evidence. It's in the testimony? Earlier in your testimony, Miss Wright, you made the following statement. And, Miss Morgan was the only one in the channeling chamber, you know? It's true that at the time, both myself and Miss Hart were not there. We had gone to call the police. So, what does that, have to do with anything? It's very simple. Ms. Miney, how did you know that fact? How? I can see that Miss Faye was the only person in the channeling chamber. However, someone who was asleep in the side room could not have known that. Which means, Ms. Miney, you did in fact go to the channeling chamber. But you didn't go there by way of the winding way. Gwah! But look at the matter guide. If one were to go between the side room and the channeling chamber, one would have to use the winding way. Yes, that's right, Your Honor. Which is why I asked this very important question. Where was the witness at the time of the murder? Ms. Miney, please answer the question. Don't ask a question off the baseless assumption, if you please. Well, I suppose since you put it out on the table, Mr. Phoenix Wright, you might as well answer the question for us. Where was the witness at the time of the murder? Now's your chance, Phoenix. Yeah. The only person who could have killed Dr. Gray was Eenie Miney. But now's the time to prove it. Now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Where was the witness when the murder took place? Well, she would have had to be in the channeling chamber, wouldn't she? Take that! Ms. Miney was here, of course. What? But that's the channeling chamber. Isn't that the crime scene? That's right. Ms. Miney was at the scene of the crime. Order! 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 That's... Why, that is... Whoa! Mr. Phoenix Wright, have you lost your mind? Yesterday's testimony established that only the victim and the defendant were in the channeling chamber when the channeling started. Yes, that is correct. Please explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Simple. Ms. Eenie Miney was hiding at the scene of the crime. I was hiding? Where? Where was I hiding? Should have saved. Sorry, I should have muted that, shouldn't I? It'd have to be behind the folding screen, surely. Here, of course. Behind the folding screen? Ah! Don't make me say this again. Recall yesterday's testimony. There ain't no way anyone's hanging out behind that folding screen. See, you stupid jerk? Quit being so pick-dependent on me, slimeball. Now, Miss Miney, once so young as you shouldn't be saying. Shut, Gramps, as if you know exactly how old I am. I'm sorry. It's like the pipe's about to burst. Guess I should help it along. The witness was hiding behind the folding screen with the help of this. It's gonna be the box, isn't it? Ms. Miney, how were you able to hide yourself at the scene of the crime is very simple. You were hiding inside this box. Ah! That tiny little box? No person could fit in that. Sorry, but your theory's already been disproved. Water disproved you when she was hiding from me in it. But that clothing box was in the side room, right? Which means it has nothing to do with the murder at all. That's right, I was sleeping there, so I should know. To be fair, a running joke you have in several Ace Attorney streams is, we're not sure the judge knows how old he is. I don't think anyone knows how old that dude is. That clothing box was there in the side room the whole time. Mr. Wright? Do you think you can prove where the clothing box was at the time? Right? And now I present the piece of evidence that will prove this clothing box was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. Can we see it in the photos? No. No. But the box does have a bullet hole in it. So the box itself should be the evidence. Take a look at this clothing box. You're so stupid, and this has any sort of evidence in our thing. This is... what on earth? I don't have time for you to sit there surprised. Hurry up and say it already. There's a hole! About 8 inches off the ground. A hole about 8 inches off the ground. Now, where have we heard that before? The folding screen. It had a hole at the same height. That's right. I hope this has opened your eyes to what happened. At the time of the shooting, the clothing box was sitting behind the folding screen, which is why the bullet from the pistol hit both the box and the folding screen. It went through the screen and then into the box. Ms. Miney, you were hiding behind the folding screen, waiting for your chance. Yes, for your chance to kill Dr. Gray. Ah! Then, Mr. Phoenix Wright, what about this picture? Are you saying that the person in this photo is Ms. Eenie Miney? That's exactly what I'm saying. Ms. Eenie Miney, you were hiding inside this clothing box all along. And you wore a medium's costume to masquerade as Maya Fey. To masquerade as Maya Fey? She had a plan from the very beginning. She would kill Dr. Gray and pin the blame on my clients. No, stop! I can't stand to listen to any more of this foolishness. If that's the case, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then I have a proposition. This whole idea that the witness moved the clothing box to the crime scene, pretended to be the defendant, killed the victim, and then fled the scene of the crime, is not possible for one person to do all that by herself. It really is impossible. For one person to do all the preparations, that is. How? Need I remind you, the foolish receive no mercy. Wait. Ms. Von Karma, you said it was not possible for one person, correct? What? You can't be serious. She's really tearing into that hat. Ms. Miney, you had an accomplice. This person? If it wasn't someone from Korean Village, you couldn't have gotten the costume. And if it wasn't someone from the Fey household, you wouldn't have that box to use. Morgan Fey! Isn't that the wonderful lady witness we had earlier? What do you have to say to this, Miss Miney? You shot Dr. Gray with your own 2 hands. Do you deny it? think this is what really happened. The murderer had planted herself at the scene of the crime long beforehand. Dressed in a medium's costume and wearing a wig, she pretended to be the defendant. And then the channeling started. The murderer crept silently towards the other two, both of whom had their eyes closed. First, she drugged Maya Fey with a strong sleeping agent. Then she stabbed Dr. Gray with a knife. Next, she hid my client inside the clothing box. She did that so that she could take Maya's place and frame her for the crime. But that's when something unexpected happened. Unexpected? Yes. Dr. Gray was actually not yet dead. With the loss of his strength, he fired a shot at his attacker. And that is why the hole in the folding screen was so low to the ground. The murderer then took the gun from Dr. Gray and... After that, you and the other lady thought to break into the room? Yes, a gunshot is certainly something you wouldn't expect to hear. Which is why, upon hearing the shots, we forced our way into the channeling chamber. Ms. Miney, she immediately covered her own costume with blood. And pretended to be Maya Fey. But that sort of deception would have been easy to see through. Which is precisely why Ms. Morgan Fey chased us out. Please leave this area to me. Go quickly and inform the police. Hurry, before there are more victims here. What is one supposed to say? This is the real truth behind this murder. Who is that, laughing at a time like this? Oh, you simple-minded fools. I'm sorry, are you still by chance evolving? What is it this time? Ms. Von Karma? Surely. Of course it was me. Do you really think someone of Von Karma blood would lose due to something this petty? What in the world? Mr. Phoenix Wright, your argument is flawed in one very crucial area. And that is, if this witness is a real murderer, why would she go through all this trouble? Huh? Working together with a medium, pretending to be one, putting on this whole act. What reason would she have to do such foolish things? Well, that's, yeah, that's right. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Oh, and one other thing. Why would Miss Eenie Meenie want to kill Dr. Gray? Where is her motive? Yeah, that's exactly what I want to say too. Yeah, motive. I don't have a motive. A motive? I can't say she has no motive here. I have to think of a motive now. What is her reason for wanting Dr. Gray again? The reason you wanted Dr. Gray dead is this. Ha! Just as I thought. You bore me with your silly answers, Phoenix Wright. Just great. Now even she's calling me by my full name. You think I did this to get revenge for my sister's death? Yes. Because through that accident, you suffered a lot of hurt and pain yourself. Don't be stupid. No one has proof that Dr. Gray drugged my sister, right? And you want to say I want to take revenge based on nothing? What do you mean by that? You're kidding, right? Apparently not. See now, stupid Gramps? I'm, going to explain, so, please listen, okay? It's been over half a year since I was discharged from the hospital. Oh yeah, I forgot she was in the hospital as well. If I want revenge, then I wouldn't have waited this long. And besides, the guy that thought of the spirit thing was Dr. Gray. It was a total coincidence. He asked me about it, you know. She's back to her airhead persona. However, you see, youch! Pathetic, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You failed to support your own theory. The end. Probably not the end. Just give me a minute here. I got a notification I just need to follow up on. Okay. Oh. No. What are you doing, game? Why are you on the other monitor? No. No. Hang on, give me a second here. Gonna have to restart the game. It's on the wrong monitor. Now I can't see the chat or anything. Only black screens tell us when the end is around here, lady. Indeed. Indeed. Alright. I think we have our answer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What Ms. Meany has stated is very true. The revenge plan is overly complicated, and she has no motive in the first place. Furthermore, there is no reason for Ms. Morgan Fay to cooperate with this plan. You don't even have any truly decisive piece of evidence to demonstrate your point. Disc. So many faults, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You should really learn your place. Nerk. What happened? I thought I had it for sure. Hehe. See, it's just as I, told you. I hope you like your slice of humble pie. Very well, I now conclude the cross-examination of Ms. Eenie Miney. Hold it! Your Honor, please, allow the defense one more minute. Alright. You can't lose here. Have faith in yourself, Phoenix. Mia! Yes, it does sound like a ridiculously messed up plan for a murder. But you know, regardless, that girl trained for this crime. Really? Listen, Phoenix. Everything happens for a reason. There is a reason for why she had to kill Dr. Gray. And it is also the reason she had no choice but to kill him in this fashion. Time is up, Mr. Wright. Your final answer, please. I wonder if it's the theory I had during the last session that maybe Amy was the one driving the car and she fell asleep at the wheel. If you want to say that you can prove Miss Miney had a motive, then why did she kill the victim in this way? Can you provide the reason? Can I? Can I really do this? Yes, I can. I'm not totally confident here, but I know that I must press on no matter what. That's right, Phoenix. Only you can do this now. I will show and substantiate the fact that Ms. Miney had a motive. Haha, too bad. You're too late. My cross-examination has already ended, after all. Eek! Interesting. I'll let you have your chance, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? You're supposed to be on my side. Aye! A Von Karma only cares about the perfect win. As long as you have the will to fight, I will knock you down, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And I don't care if you are my witness. So help me, I will throw you out of my way. No way. Very well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. We'll continue the cross-examination after we reconvene. Hey, wait a sec here. To be continued. Alright, let's keep going, see how this turns out. Is it really true about my aunt? I'm afraid so, Maya. There's no way Amy could have killed Dr. Gray by herself. And under the circumstances, no one else other than your aunt, Morgan. That's terrible. Why? Why would my aunt... Everything is going just as I predicted, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Ah, Ms. Von Karma. Why are you doing this? Why are you trying to take revenge on Nick? Nick had nothing to do with what happened to your dad. Don't you have something better to be worrying about? Say, your own situation? Looking down on me even though we're the same age. Are you done yet? Are you done yet? You've caused me enough pain and suffering. Not yet. My goal is to defeat you and let the whole world know of your defeat. But even if you do that, it won't bring your father back. Whatever. In the meantime, let's bring this match to its conclusion. And then we'll know who the real winner is. Finally, a chink in her armor. Court will now reconvene. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Can you prove Ms. Amy Money had a motive? Yes, I believe I can. Amy Money and Dr. Gray have only one point of connection. And that is the car accident 1 year ago. The motive I'm looking for must be there. Ms. Money, please testify to this court about your car accident last year. Huh? I thought, you wanted to, ask about my, motive. I, don't see the point in, bringing up the past. Ms. Money, if you please. Okay, I totally don't think it'll do any good, but... Last year's accident. That was, last year in May. Something really bad had happened at, my sister's clinic around then. And, the night of the accident, my sister was totally tired while she was driving. I was, totally pooped too, so I, fell asleep in the passenger seat. I, woke up because of a jolt, and, it was a sea of flames around me. I, opened the door and, got away. I think I've heard of this incident. It was all the talk on the tabloid shows day after day last year. Yes, and there was talk about Dr. Gray drugging your sister? Those were merely rumors, totally baseless gossip. Yes, Mr. Wright, you may question the witness. Now it's impossible to prove that Dr. Gray did in fact drug Ms. Miney's sister. Yeah, which means I'll have to work this from another angle. That was like last year in May. Didn't some sort of medical malpractice happen at your sister's hospital then? Yeah, like, that was in May too. Like, the thing with all the patients dying was like May 2nd, and like, our accident was like on the 24th. 2 accidents back to back. Do you assume it's just a coincidence? My sister was like totally tired, so that's why, duh. Like, something really bad had happened at like my sister's clinic around then. That was the malpractice incident where 14 patients died, correct? Yeah. What was the cause of the mistake? Like, I heard it was because the medicines, like, got mixed up. Was that the fault of your sister, Mimi Miney? Like, no way! Dr. Gray, like, wanted to blame it on my sis. That incident has nothing to do with our murder here. Besides, the police report has already documented that it was entirely Mimi Miney's fault. Which means, as far as the real facts are concerned, Mimi Miney is the one who made the mistake. But, like, it really wasn't my sis. And, like, the night of the accident, my sis was totally tired while she was driving. She was totally tired, you mean exhausted? Like, she had to talk to the police and, like, was being investigated, like, every day. It was, like, a totally terrible situation. It's no wonder, then, that the car accident happened, huh? So then, why didn't you ask to switch places? Huh? Like, what are you talking about? I meant switch drivers. If your sister was so tired, then you should have switched with her. True. But, like, I don't, like, have a driver's license. Oh, yes, she did. This is news to me. I was not aware you didn't have your license, Ms. Miney. Ms. Miney, please amend your testimony. Got her. Like, okay. Anyway. I was, like, totally pooped, too, so I, like, fell asleep in the passenger seat. The accident happened at night, correct? Yeah, like, it was at, like, 1 a.m. or so, I think. I had, like, a paper due, like, really soon. So, like, I hadn't slept and was working, like, real hard. So it was because the two of you were so tired that this accident happened. I, like, woke up because of a jolt, and, like, it was a sea of flames around me. And your sister? What happened to her? I didn't see her. The car was, like, totally black, and there was, like, a ton of smoke. I, like, totally had, like, no clue what was going on. I opened the door and, like, got away. Please tell us more about your escape in more detail. I like, kept wanting to forget that time. So, like, I don't remember things about the accident in, like, detail anymore. Well, it's alright. No need to push yourself. I think I, like, gave an interview at the accident. Like, that would probably be the most accurate, you know. If it's that article, then I've already got it. I didn't have my license, so, like, I couldn't take over driving for her. Yes. Ms. Miney, that was a lame lie just now. Like, what do you mean? I know you had a license back then. This is a photo you took for the express purpose of getting a driver's license. What is the meaning of this, Miss Miney? That's right. Yeah, I had, like, a license, but I didn't get it until after the accident. No, you had it. You had it at the time of the accident. Director Hottie, or the guy pretending to be him anyway, said so. What are you talking about? That perverted fake clinic director? Yes, that perverted fake clinic director. And how did he... Ouch! No one cares. Witness, when did you receive your driver's license? Like, last November? What? November? The accident happened last May. That's a half-year lapse in time, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What in the... That's what happened, Mr. Wright. At the time of the accident, Ms. Miney did not have a driver's license. Ow! Cry and my whip will accommodate. Anyway, without a license, the witness and her sister could not have switched drivers. I'm, like, glad you get it, but, like, even if I had my license, I, like, don't think my sis would have, like, let me drive. Hell, don't just stand there humming to yourself. Don't tell me she has a whip as well. Not you too, Mia. With the whip, and the paid, and the owl. Ms. Miney, why do you think you would not have been allowed to drive anyway? That's because... I think this situation calls for a more detailed testimony. Ms. Miney, if you please. Oh, hello. Drago Rossi, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the show. Just give me a second here. I've got another message I need to check. Okay, let's continue. Oh good, it's saved on the correct monitor this time. Eh? Like, how annoying. Oops, like, sorry, didn't mean to be mean. Around that time, I was, like, really close to getting my license. My sis was, like, this totally big fan of cars and, like, really valued them. She, like, had just gotten this really shiny, bright red sports car. She, like, would say things like, no way am I letting a noob drive my car. So, like, that's why I ended up in the passenger seat that night, too. I see. A bright red car for sports. Now then, the defense may question the witness. Not terribly knowledgeable about cars, but... Like, around that time, I was, like, really close to getting my license. So what do you mean by really close? Like, I had one of those permit things? I think that's what they call. Permit? Wow, the big name lawyer doesn't even know what a driver's permit is. Well, this lawyer never had a permit. Wow. Ignorance is to be whipped. What is with her? All she said in the last few minutes is utter nonsense. So, like, may I continue? My sis was, like, this totally big fan of cars and, like, really valued them. She valued cars. How much would you say she valued her car? Well, like, she'd flip out at, like, a drop of rain. And, like, she would notice if someone, like, touched the car door with dirty hands. In that case, why bother taking the car out of the garage, ever? Why did she take such special care of the car? How can you say that? It was a brand spanking new car. New car? Like, you wouldn't want to, like, get it dirty, would you, Mr. Lawyer? I would think that cars getting dirty is just another fact of life, but I guess people who really love cars think otherwise. Phoenix, try asking something of more significance, alright? Well, Ms. Mighty, what kind of car was it? She, like, just gotten this really shiny, bright red sports car? It was a new car. Yeah! She had, like, just gotten it. It was, like, from the UK. The UK? Were those her boyfriend's initials? Oh no. We got a spam bot in the chat. Hang on. What? And reported for being a spam bot and smelly individual. Yep, you said it. You said it, Dom. I don't know why they bother continuing to try. And it was a really special model. She had waited for a whole year for it to arrive. I guess a love of cars would be the obvious next topic. I really don't know anything about cars, but I had a feeling this was bound to come up. Your Honor, yes. Please have the witness append what she just said to her testimony. You mean the part about it being a special import car? Yes. That's it. It's a car from the UK, so the the steering wheel would be on the other side, wouldn't it? Oh, well, if you like cars that much, then that's not my point. Though, to be honest, I don't know what the point is either. Ms. Mighty, would you please fix your testimony? Sure, whatever. My sister's new car was like a totally special model from England. She would say things like, "No way am I letting a noob drive my car." Was your sister good at driving? She was totally awesome. She said she was going to be the racing queen of the nursing world. Somehow I think she bumped my question off track again. So that's why I ended up in the passenger seat that night too. And that was when the accident occurred, correct? Yeah. I immediately reached for the passenger side door and fled, in a daze. Sounds like you had a terrifying time. There's something very big here. It's going to be hard to break apart such natural-sounding testimony. But we have to attack it. And by doing so, a flaw will show itself. It has to. Do you really think so? Believe. There is a path, I know it. Me almost sounded like a prophet for a second there. Okay. Alright. Let's do another save here. We do a little bit of saving. Now, what can I... There it is. The right door. She went out through the right door. Alright, so I need to figure out when is the best time to I think it's probably here. Ms. Miney, do you remember this article? Huh? It's an article about the accident. You had said this in it, but I opened the right door and got out. That's correct, isn't it? Like, why are you suddenly asking me about that? Your Honor, which side is the passenger seat? The left or the right? Well, it's on the right side, of course, because the driver's on the left side. That would be if it were an American car, but it would be the opposite in a British car. Opposite? The two of them were riding in a British car. In that case, the passenger side would be the left side. What do you mean by this? Ms. Miney, you said that you had escaped using the right side door of the car. But if you were sitting there, then that means you were in the driver's seat. Order! Order in the court! Order! 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 Mr. Phoenix Wright is blabbering nonsense again. Eni said the person who was driving was her older sister, Mimi Miney. That is what Eni said, yes. But that is where her story falls apart. Somewhere, all of us made a big error in our assumptions. Phoenix, looks like you finally found the real root of this murder. If we connect all the dots, there can only be one answer. I'd like to ask the court a question. Eni or Mimi, who was really driving that night? And the answer is Eni Meeny. Eni Miney, of course. Why would you say that? Ms. Eni Miney just said so herself in her testimony. She said that she escaped the car from the right side door, which would have been where the driver's seat was. Ow! I'm inclined to feel sorry for a foolish fool who foolishly spent his time foolishly. At that time, Ms. Eni Miney had not yet received her driver's license. Hit him again? That's uncalled for. And that is why the accident happened. Hold it, Phoenix. Looks like you still don't see the real truth behind the accident. The real truth? Yep. Lots of face palms. Think outside the box. Isn't that what we always say? Alright, one more time. Connect all the dots, there can only be one answer. I'd like to ask the court a question. Well, I would have thought it... But apparently not, so okay, fine. Mimi Miney. The answer is the one person who had a driver's license. Mimi Miney. After all, that makes her the only person who could legally drive. But you just said the witness, Ms. Eni Miney, was the one in the driver's seat. Which leads us to the next question. The next question? Wait, who is the person standing at the witness stand right now? Oh. She had plastic surgery, didn't she? What sort of idiotic ruse is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? This witness's name is... I'll tell you what her name really is. This witness's real name is... Mimi Miney. That is your real name. Of all the foolish dribble. Then how do you explain her appearance? This witness had severe facial burns when she was admitted into the hospital. So for the purpose of facial reconstruction, the surgeons used a picture. Facial reconstruction surgery? This is the picture she gave to her doctors at the time. That's right. It's a picture of a younger sister. No! But Mimi Miney, she died in the car accident. That's what everyone thought. However, that was not the case. Then the body they found at the crash site? That was the body of the real Eni Miney. Dom and I were both impressed you got onto Morgan so quickly, we wondered how you'd figure out the rest. Oh, thank you. I definitely didn't see the case of her posing as the other sister, but yeah, thanks. That car accident 1 year ago. The one who died that night was Eenie Miney. Her sister, Mimi, then stole her face, and was reborn as Eenie. With this, she effectively erased Mimi Miney from existence. Your Honor, I'm sure you can now see why Mimi had to kill Dr. Gray. What do you mean? What is the meaning of this nonsense? Dr. Gray wanted to call back the spirit of a dead person. Specifically, the spirit of his nurse that died in the car crash, Mimi Miney. However, that would not have been possible, because Mimi Miney was still in fact alive. And that fact would have been discovered had the channeling been conducted. So this witness had to stop that from happening. At all costs. And that's why she had to kill Dr. Turner Gray? Is that what you're saying? Yes. Before the channeling, Dr. Gray had the misfortune of consulting this witness consulting this witness about communicating with the dead. And in that moment, his fate was sealed. Well, Ms. Eenie? I mean, Ms. Von Karma. Eek! Why did you say my name just now? Looks like I've been unmasked. Witness? That's right, I admit it. My real name is Mimi Miney. That quack doctor, he got what he deserved in the end. And I was so close to finally ditching Mimi, too. So close. But why? Why would you go so far as to throw away yourself? To become your own sister? I think I understand why. Mimi Miney wanted her old self to disappear because of this. That's about the malpractice incident. Dr. Gray was right. The mistake was caused by the nurse. A nurse by the name of Mimi Miney. That's right, the person standing before us today. And a few weeks after this mishap, Mimi Miney had a car accident, in which she lost her younger sister. The timing couldn't have been worse. 14 patients dying in that incident, and her own sister's life extinguished. It was all too much to bear. I found a way for myself to escape it all. The only way. She lost everything in the flames of the accident. Her sister, and even her own face. This was her last chance. Her chance to throw away her past and start a new life as her sister. Unbelievable. A plan beyond my wildest imagination. That jerk. If only he hadn't thought of that channeling mumbo-jumbo. Mumbo-jumbo. Becoming Eenie has been the most horrible experience in the world. Spirit channeling, the occult, I hate it. I hate it all. I believe there are still a few unsolved riddles here, such as, why did Ms. Miney choose to go with such a complicated plan? And why did Ms. Morgan Fay agree to help her execute it? Regardless, I believe one thing has been made crystal clear. The innocence of the defendant, Maya Fay. This is preposterous! I'm perfect! Me, Franziska von Karma! I'm going to enjoy the news tonight, Miss von Karma. How about you? It's going to be broadcast all over the world, right? Your defeat, that is. Yow! Oh! Ah! Ow! 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 And one more for good measure. Oh dear. Phoenix! Hang in there, Phoenix! Phoenix! This god is a fraud! A sham! Now then. It looks like it will be some time before Mr. Wright regains consciousness. So I will go ahead and pronounce a verdict. Not guilty. That is all. This court is adjourned. Congratulations, Maya. Sis! Aww. It's good to see you, Maya. How are you doing? Sis! I didn't kill anyone, did I? No, you didn't. It was all just a dream. A really bad dream. You know, sis, in my dream, I smelled a really familiar scent. A familiar scent? I was inside that clothing box, right? That box. That was the box you used to store your clothes in a long time ago. That's right. Still one thing I don't quite get. What's that? What would have happened if Mimi hadn't shot Dr. Gray? I mean, we broke in because we heard a gunshot. I think Mimi Money had planned to open the doors of the chamber herself. And then you and Lotta would have witnessed quite a scene. A possessed Maya Fey who had just committed a murder. She had it planned down to the smallest detail, huh? Nick! Congrats, Maya. Thanks! Looks like you bailed me out of another jam. Well, you know. But I really don't want something like this to happen ever again. I'm fine because I have you to help me out, Nick. But every time something happens, I lose someone special to me. First my sister, now my aunt. Hey Nick, tell me. Tell me why my aunt did something so horrible. Why would she help Mimi Money with a plan like that? I just don't understand it, Nick. Maya, it's over. Why don't we just let it be? Nick, please, I need an answer. The reason Morgan helped Mimi with her plan was... well, Pearly. Pearly? 4 years from now, a new master will be born into Karain Village. And that person will be you, Maya. But if you were there, then the main family's bloodline would disappear. And what would happen then? The Branch family, my aunt. No, Morgan's spiritual power is too weak. The next person would be Pearls. Ah! Everything was done for her sake. It was all so that Pearls would become the next master. Yeah, I can see that. Did Maya say something just now? I think that she was saying, I thought so. Date and time unknown. Detention center. Solitary confinement. Cells 13. My precious Pearl. You are the only one suitable to be the master of Karain, dear child. I sacrificed it all for you. I helped that brainless nurse carry out her murder, and cooperated with that whip-happy prosecutor. It was all to unseat that annoying, witless main family girl. That Maya Fey. But I shall be patient, my dearest Pearl. A chance will present itself. Your time will come. Interesting. Achievement unlocked. Reunion and Turnabout. Clear episode 2. And a brand new episode has been added. Hi, Marky. Yes, I think I will save this progress. Alright. My voice is, my throat rather, is starting to get rather sore, so I think I might actually call quits here for today. And come back to this on Friday. Start fresh with a new episode then. I think that makes sense. If you would like to see more of my playthroughs of the Ace Attorney series, you can find that on my YouTube channel. There's a link down below. Has all my Twitch streams archived there. Sonic games, Batman games, Dead Rising. I did a whole series on Manhunter, the game about the very angry shark last year. You can find all that there. Another link you'll find below is my Blue Sky, where I am doing daily progress reports on my latest Professor Oak challenge. This one is for Pokemon Ultra Moon. Ultra Moon? Ultra Moon. I am still working my way through evolving all the Pokemon I need to have in my decks before I do the first trial. Currently working on Drifloon, which will evolve into Drifloon with enough time and patience. And the other link you can find down below is for my Tumblr, where I have a series of articles about the Sonic the Hedgehog comics, formerly published by Archie, and how that series should have been a syndicated cartoon rather than a comic book series. You know, it had all the same tropes that you see in those syndicated cartoons from the 80s and 90s. So check that out. I think it's a fun read. I'm not going to bother with the raid today because people say Case 3 is the worst in the whole franchise, but Chet and you agree there's one in Game 4 that is much worse. Okay, well, that's a bit worrying, but I guess we'll see how that turns out on Friday. So yeah, I'm going to pick this up on Friday at 1 o'clock Mountain Time, and hope I'll see you all there. Until then, take care. Have a good rest of your week. See you later, everyone.